Hello guys. How is everybody? Oh dear, that was bad timing. Hello everyone. We are back, Paulette and Becs for Wine Live. I'm not sure which one this is, how many we've done, but
It's the
I
one.
know it's the afternoon. It is 2 o'clock where I am right now, but grab yourself a glass of wine. I think Paulette's got some kiddos that she's watching, so she's got her lovely.
Iced tea.
Yes, I will have wine though. I'm co-parenting today, so.
I'm trying to be responsible. You've got kids.
um, yeah, exactly. We are going to talk about just some mom stuff today and, well, more parenting stuff about hurrying up and why we're always rushing with our children and just constantly we're looking for the next thing that we have to do and having a list and just constantly hurrying to get everything done and missing moments with our kids and how it's actually teaching our kids that maybe the small thing that they thought was super important, even though we're saying something in a nice way and asking them to hurry up, is actually coming across as a negative thing for them, that they're processing it in a way of like my imagination or whatever it is that I thought was important actually isn't. And it teaches our kids to really hold themselves back, or maybe they'll stop thinking something is so cool or using their imagination, all because we rushed them. So we're going to have a conversation sort of about like some examples and different things of why hurrying can be, just why it's so important to slow down and really take in each moment with our kids and just for ourselves and our own mental health and everything. And I
Yeah.
know Paulette's read a bunch of articles about this and sent me a bunch of things I've been reading, and it's been great.
Yeah. So I had read an article a few days ago. That's what inspired this whole topic is and it was about a lady who she was going for a walk with her son, and they were walking down this path, and they had a destination. They didn't necessarily have a timeline, but he at one point laid on the ground. He was looking up at the sky, and he must have been looking at the clouds or something like that. And he was like, "Mom, check this out!" And she was so focused on getting to where they had planned to go that day that she kept telling him, "Okay, yeah, yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Hurry up. We gotta go. We gotta go." Not thinking in her brain like, "Hey, maybe he's got something to show me," or
Yeah.
and the kid was just like the happiest kid in the world. He was so excited to show his mom something. And I know like that's happened to me in my life before where I'm so guilty of it. I tell my kids all the time, "Okay, enough. Let's go. Hurry up." And then I feel bad because I'm like, really? Is it that important?
Yeah.
Like your little guy is trying to show you something that they're proud of, or
Mm-hmm.
and we're kind of like squishing their dreams a little bit, not intentionally, but
Yeah.
we're just in such a we're so conditioned to go go go, hurry hurry hurry, we got to get here, we got to do this, we got to do that we
Totally.
forget
Totally. And
that.
like as parents, like we have, especially if we're working Monday to Friday, like if we have those jobs, like you get home and we've got a list. It's like, hey, I got to get laundry done. I got to cook dinner. I got to get this. The kids got sports. They've got this. They like whatever it is. It's like, I've got half an hour for this, half an hour for that. And life can get so busy and so crazy that just be saying, okay, let's hurry up. Let's go. And rushing can just be such a
Mm-hmm.
common thing. But really, it might take 5 more minutes just to slow down just ever so slightly. And like one of the articles that Paulette had sent me, I was reading was, I think there was two examples. One was this woman was telling her kids to put their shoes on. She's like, "Hurry up, let's go. We gotta go. We got maybe it was soccer practice, whatever it was." And the kid was just sitting there looking at like three pairs of shoes or whatever it was. And instead of, she finally decided, okay, like I'm gonna ask my kids, like, why does it take you so long to get your shoes on? Instead of just yelling, hurry up, and rushing, or grabbing the shoes yourself and then picking the kid up and off you go into the car and then you throw the shoes on. And so this woman started asking her kids these questions like, so why is it taking you so long to get your shoes on? And the kids would say, well, I'm just trying to pick what the best pair is. Okay, so the kid's actually thinking about it. They're not ignoring you. They're not doing certain things, but it's about really harnessing, like, let them make that decision. Let's stop hurrying them and take those decisions away from them. And the other example was at supper time, like, eat your peas, like hurry up and eat your dinner. But then this woman had asked her children, like, why aren't you eating your peas? And the one kid's response was, I'm counting them before I eat them.
Mm-hmm.
That could take ages for a kid to count peas, but like if that's what the kid's doing, allow that to happen.
Yeah.
But sometimes like life can get crazy. I'm not saying this is an easy thing to do because I rush through so many things and have a to-do list, and it's really hard not to live in the future of a timeline as opposed to just being in the moment.
Yeah, and I feel like we've learned a lot. You and I have on this whole self-exploration journey. We've learned a lot
Yes.
about like slowing down and living in the now. And
Yeah.
I just think like our kids, and we do this way too often to our kids, right? Like we don't know what's going on in there. I was just talking to a friend of mine this morning and telling him about how when I was growing up, Lord love my parents. I love them to peanuts, but they were always parents try to protect you, so they always bring up the sometimes they're glass half empty. I'm super glass half full, but sometimes they're glass half empty because they're trying to protect you. Like,
Yeah.
do this, but be careful because it might not work. And so
Yes.
I feel like when we tell our kids to hurry up all the time, and we're like, yeah, yeah, that's great, but we need to be somewhere. So come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. We're taking away that the innocence, the imagination, that they have, which is unfortunate because that's what like we're molding these tiny little people.
Exactly.
I want my kids
Exactly.
to like want to rule the world and do what they want to do and feel like they can. But in order to do that, we need to listen and stop
Totally.
being in such a hurry to like get stuff.
Totally. Absolutely.
Or even
So
sorry.
just to throw a little hold on this,
Yeah.
I just got a message here, and apparently no one can see me.
What?
So if you guys can just drop a comment, throw us a like or something that you can hear me, just comment in the comments that you can hear me, and we'll just keep going because otherwise it's going to sound like just Paulette is just chatting away here to herself.
That is unfortunate.
So
Okay.
yes, just let us know if you guys hear us or whatever it may be. We would love to know because, or if you can actually see me because it's
Yeah.
apparently people can't see me.
Can you see her yet, guys?
Anybody out there? Drop us a comment if you can see me.
You're up there, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Look at me. We're learning. We're learning together. I had it on a different mode earlier. My bad. My bad.
All right. How about now, Jake or Janine? Can you see me now?
I think she's there.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey guys.
This
Had to just
beautiful, this beautiful angelic voice, and nobody can hear where it's coming.
ah, it's just like floating in.
Cheers
Yeah.
to learning new things.
Oh, cheers to that one.
Cheers.
All right.
Okay.
Anyways, where we were leaving off. Where were we? We were talking about just the rushing, and I had just given the example on like eating your food and rushing kids through that. And you know what? Like, I know for me, like we used to struggle. My son does not like to sit in the high chair or even at the table to eat. And I'm not going to lie, I did not want to feed my kid at the couch. I do not want to have to chase my kid around to eat. And he is just like this little bundle of energy that does not stop unless he crashes in his bed. He's not a kid that cuddles. He doesn't do any of those things, but he's so fiery. And so now I know, like, I think Kent is actually watching right now, but we sit down at dinner and we have a plate for him. It's at the table. If he can't do it, we don't even allow that fight to come because I don't want dinner to be a horrible thing. So instead, when we're done eating, we do our dinner. He knows it's dinner time. Then we will take the time and one of us will follow him and give him bites. And you know what? He'll eat his whole dinner, but he just does not, he's just cannot at that point in time sit down. Sometimes it'll be 2 hours later, he'll sit down and eat, but he was not ready to eat at dinner time. So it's really, we're really working on not forcing it. And it can be frustrating. And it's really like rushing as well. Like we're hungry, maybe he's not hungry. Or he sees something else as being more important than him eating right now. So then he goes and he'll just be playing in his playroom or whatever it may be. And I'm sure it'll change as he gets older, but
Well,
just being.
tell him the story about last night. You were telling me about Caleb at bedtime. The movie.
Oh yeah. Okay. So last night, Oh my gosh, this little guy, he slept till 5 o'clock yesterday. So for his nap, which he's usually up at like 3. So this just threw off our whole bedtime, which whatever, it happens. And he really wanted to watch Moana. So he had been watching a little bit of TV right before bed. He'd had a bottle, and I was like, hey, it's bedtime. And he started to get so upset. All he wanted to do was watch Moana. He hadn't watched it. So I was like, okay, 5 minutes. Not that a 2-year-old has any concept of what 5 minutes means, but I literally just turned on the TV for a couple of minutes. It just went through the intro of the movie, and he sat there with his bottle. He relaxed. He wasn't crying. And I just went and I said, okay, 5 minutes is up. And I turned the TV off, and he just, boom, went to bed like a dream. But instead of just, it could have just turned into this horrible battle because all he wanted to do was see Moana. So, I mean, this is not for every circumstance of every single thing with kids, obviously, because everybody parents differently and everything is so much different. But instead of rushing him and making it this huge ordeal for bedtime, I just let him take 5 minutes just to see it. And it made the whole evening much more relaxed and calm, which is really cool. Yeah. And a lot of that is in thank you to you sending me all these articles, a lot of the personal development things that we've been doing, and just recognizing, like, I know some of the courses, it's been about recognizing like things that happen from our own childhood that have influenced us. And it can be something as small as something that a parent, like one of our parents had said to us, of rushing us at some point that maybe knocked our imagination down or knocked our confidence down, but really we didn't even, it's just what we told ourselves that meant.
Yeah.
As opposed to what it really meant of like, get your butt moving, let's go. Yeah.
Well, and silly little things like the other day, it was super beautiful outside at our house, and the kids wanted to put the sprinkler under the trampoline. That's like one of their favorite things to do. And it was after supper, and it was almost bedtime, and I was like, kids had to have a bath and whatever, but like they were so excited. And you're just in your brain, you're like, okay, schedule, we need to stick to this, we need to do this. But we let them go. And they were the happiest kids in the whole entire world. They went to bed happy. There was no fighting. They were super, super grateful. And like, that's huge.
Absolutely.
What, with a house full of yahoos who and finally they were so happy. And I was like, really, I got over myself for 5 minutes and got off my schedule, and I gave them happiness, and then the world was okay. It wasn't a big deal. Like, what is the hurry?
Yeah, like everything didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
Things didn't crash and burn.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's great to just like take a moment and really like say like you're rushing, and all of a sudden your kid you want to get your kids in the car, and they go and they start smelling the flowers in the garden, or they see a bug and they're following the bug. Like, just take that extra second, whether it's like 30 seconds, whatever it is, to just watch them and see their facial expressions and watch how like in tune they are. Like, are they smelling the flower? What is their face doing? How are they reacting to it? And really just take in, like, that's something super important to them.
Yeah. And listen, right?
Yeah, exactly. Listen. Yeah. Yeah. Kim just said, pick and choose your battles. Exactly. It's all about picking and choosing the battles for sure. Because obviously there are certain things that, like a scheduled time for sports or something, but that's just, I mean, that comes when kids are older and the recognition of time and all those things. But yes, there are times where it's like, okay, let's get our butt in gear. Or like, I have a flight tomorrow, and I'm just like, I'm such a planner of like the time I have to get to the airport by this time and make sure I'm there. And I'm always an early bird for those kind of things. So it stresses me out. I don't like to be late, but maybe that's something I learned when I was little too. I don't know.
I'm just going to pull up some comments here. Janine said there's also a mom guilt that if we don't have our kids involved in X, Y, and Z, that we won't be productive people later on, which is silly. I totally 100% agree with this. And again, like, different strokes for different folks. I get that. But I just feel like a lot of times everybody's got their kids in so many different things. And if that works for your family, that's awesome. But I feel like we don't always have to like try to live up to that standard.
Totally.
Because sometimes it's doing our kids a disservice at the same time, right? Like, they're not getting enough sleep, or they're they're so, it's almost like our kids are programmed to be like, what's the word? They're like hooked on adrenaline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they don't
Yeah.
know how to just relax and enjoy and live in the
Hmm.
present. It's always go, 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 go.
Totally. They don't, it's almost like it's in a way when they're in so many things, it takes away their ability to just be a kid
Yeah.
because everything is so structured and just losing just the creativity that kids have and all of those things like that a kid just shows because we learn so much from kids of just like not taking things for granted and seeing the beauty in things that we maybe haven't seen in ages. And by like Janine said, like in getting enrolling our kids in something like every single day of the week, 2 things a day, whatever it may be, including school or including daycare, whatever it is, a lot of the time can take away from just kids being able to just be kids
Hmm.
or
And
learning to have alone time,
yeah.
be on their own. Like,
And if
yeah,
like if it works for your family, that's totally awesome. And if it works for your kid, that's awesome. I it's just important to listen to your kid. Not necessarily like, you need to really pay attention to see if this is something that they want or if it's something that you think they need. Because I
yes,
think at the end of the day, kids don't need a lot.
totally, totally,
Sometimes, like you said earlier, sometimes they just want to like sit down and smell the roses, right?
exactly. And you know, like what Cora, I think it's Coralie just said, kids need to learn to be bored. That's when creativity happens. And you know what? It absolutely is true. Like, allow kids, like, that's like technology. Technology is an incredible thing, but sometimes it takes away, like, instead of a kid just being bored and trying to figure out what the heck to do, like go outside and play, they'll maybe they have an iPhone or an iPad or a TV, like whatever it is. Like I'm guilty of it. I pop my kid in front of TV every once in a while too, like just to in order to get something done. But when kids are bored, they're gonna look for something to do
Yeah.
instead of us doing it for them, and they're gonna find something that they want to do.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in the age of technology, yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
it's such a different level of that now, right? Like back in
Totally.
the day, my mom used to throw us outside in the morning. Like we weren't allowed to come in until noon. Like, don't you even think about coming inside. But yeah, like the minute now my kids say they're bored, I'm like, okay, so all those toys we have laying around downstairs, I could put them in a garbage bag and you're good.
Yeah, there you go.
Like you're not bored.
Exactly. Yeah,
Go go use your imagination.
exactly.
Or like Grace
Exactly.
would say, my imagination.
I
He gets very excited.
love it. I love it.
Cheers. Good point, Coralie.
Yes. Cheers to that. If anyone has grabbed a glass of wine with us, please let us know, especially give us a heart if it's a red wine or a like today if you're drinking iced tea with Paulette. And don't leave me hanging here, guys.
We're not judging, don't worry.
That's okay. I'm headed to Vegas tomorrow. I'm just preparing myself.
Woohoo! Conditioning the liver.
Exactly. Just getting it, warming it up a little bit. Just warming myself up here
Yes.
for a girls' trip.
So I have a question
Yes.
for everybody out there, if anybody's watching. What do you think that we can do to slow down? What can we change to slow
Mm.
life down a bit? Any ideas, Bex?
Yes. Less points on the to-do list. Pick
Right.
maybe like 2 or top 3 things that have to get done in your day, not a list of 15 things that have to get crossed off. And if they don't get crossed off, it ruins the day. Really just slow those things down. Sure, there's appointments, there's different little things like that that obviously need to be met. But if you've got a day that's full of appointments or play dates, whatever it may be, slow it down. And Janine just says, say no. Say no to certain things. If someone asks you to do something, be like, you know what? I'm swamped today. I can't do that. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. The ability to say no is actually a very, very powerful thing.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it on one of our last wine lives.
Exactly. Exactly. And just, yeah, just slowing down and just being in the moment, giving yourself more time. Cross a few things off that to-do list, schedule them for the next day. It's not going to ruin the day if certain things don't get done. Or if it will, then maybe that's one of your top 2 or 3 things that you have to do that day.
Yeah.
But really
So,
just taking the time to just narrow it down of what's really important. And
good idea, bud.
What's your
Cheers.
idea? What's your idea, bud?
Your idea was great.
Oh, goodness. I promise these are our first drinks.
Yeah. I got nothing. Okay.
Uh,
Well,
yeah, I'm just seeing if I had any more. Oh, yeah, the words hurry up. Cutting those out of our vocabulary. Those are like massive, but it's really easy. It actually is quite easy to cut something out of your vocabulary, but it's more about the feeling that comes with saying hurry up. It's like that feeling inside, that urgency, that like, come on, like, let's go. Like, it's just like boiling inside and you just want to scream when maybe things aren't moving as quick as you wanted because the kids aren't going as fast or whatever it may be. But it's really about that. Just like my same idea, I got this from the article, was just like taking that extra second when you feel yourself just getting so worked up because you haven't been able to leave yet or hurry and get to that spot, is just watch them and watch what they're doing. And it's okay to be 5 minutes late.
yeah. Do you know what I'm terrible for? And you just
Mm.
totally make me realize this. When my kids eat supper, I'm like a drill sergeant. Like, yeah, they get all excited and chatty, and nobody's eating supper, and I'm like, "Hey guys, come on, hurry up!" All the time. Like, I need to like let go a little bit, I think.
There you go. That's huge.
Good
Even
point.
just
So,
like recognizing those things and
yeah,
then realizing like it's not an instant change in doing it every single day. Like maybe it's when you go to leave the house for whoever it may be, you go to leave the house, that's going to be the first time that you cut it out. You're going to recognize it then. And then once you start to stop doing that, you're going to recognize it somewhere else in your life. It's not about instantly changing everything because routines don't change easy. Habits are definitely not easily changed. So just recognizing a tiny thing and then working on that one spot. So maybe for you, it's at the dinner table now
yeah, totally.
of recognizing it, right? Because that's a huge time when family's all together.
Well, we both grew up. Jerry is the same way. In his family, it was
Mm-hmm.
the thing. Like, it was almost like a job.
Yeah.
You're at the table. You have a job to do. And your job is to eat
Mm-hmm.
your supper. And once you're done, then you can go play. But you need to get that done.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're like
Totally.
playing and having a good time, like, why am I party pooping?
Right? Don't be party pooper,
It could be a
Paulette.
great memory that they hold on to forever, and I'm like squishing it.
Yeah. It looks like Coralie had simplify life. Instead of 3 kids in year-long activities, we do short-term activities. Example, 8 weeks of soccer instead of year-round activities. We encourage time, lots of it as a family. See, that's awesome. I think that's amazing. Is to really
Valid.
limit it and then once kids get to a certain age of like, okay, I want to do this more, that's their choice.
Yeah.
Right? Like it can be their choice. And then whether or not families have financial abilities, blah, 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 then at least it was the child's choice to swamp their life with it because
Yeah.
that's what they truly want to do. It's not about pleasing someone or doing something else. It's their
Hmm.
choice,
And you're
which is
you're
really cool.
you're learning balance as a family too, right? So
Exactly.
that's very important.
Exactly. Thank you for that, Coralie. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cheers to that, Coralie. Coralie and I get to go on a field trip tomorrow.
Mm, fun.
Hmm.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I think that sort of just wraps it up for our wine live today. I'm not sure. Do you have anything else to touch on, Paulette?
I don't think so. I think we hit all the big points there.
Yeah. So just
We got
take
some.
some time to slow down, people. I know
Yeah.
it's a lot easier said than done. I'm no expert at this. I've been practicing it for a long time. And I think Paulette has too. We've both been doing a lot of personal development stuff for about the last year. So it takes work. It's not easy. We're still working on it. I think it's always going to be work.
Yeah.
And don't beat yourself up. If you do tell your kids to hurry up, don't beat yourself up. Just work for the next time to not do it. And
Yes.
actually, I think I just heard a little bug just wake up. He's supposed to be sleeping.
Mommy.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll let you go, hon.
All
I
right.
yes, the point of this whole thing is to talk about it and let
Mm-hmm.
everybody know that everyone's going through the same kind of stuff. So
Exactly. Exactly.
thanks for
Let's just
jumping on
slow
every
down.
and yeah,
You
we'll
guys
see
got
you.
some value out of this? Give us some likes, some shares, some loves. Let me know if you're drinking some wine with me. And if you caught the replay, drop a replay and let us know that you guys jumped on.
You betcha.
Okay.
Hey,
Cheers, guys.
enjoy your day, guys. He's like, Mom. Are you gone? Oh, you left.